This next news story comes from Polygon, written by Michael McWhorter. Rocksteady's Suicide Squad game launches and is quickly taken down. Shocker.
Oh boy, Rocksteady, be glad I didn't buy that game, dude. Be glad.
Rocksteady Studios' first big game in nearly a decade is off to a rough start. Players who had early access to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League started the game on Monday and were presented with a big surprise. Upon logging in for the first time, they had full story completion. That massive bug, which would conceivably unlock certain game features and open the floodgate of story spoilers, forced Rocksteady to quickly take the game offline to perform maintenance. On Rocksteady's X account for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the developer said it's aware that a number of players are currently experiencing that issue. As it works on the bug, the game will be unavailable. We expect this to take several hours and will update once we have information, a developer said. We apologize for the inconvenience. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is an always online game, meaning that even the single player portion of the game is now unplayable. That's great. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice, their names.
They're on a roll.
Suicide Squad.
Just call it Suicide Squad.
On February 2nd, so it doesn't come out till, what was that, Thursday, Friday? Something like that. But customers who pre-ordered the game, Deluxe Edition on PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S, get up to 72 hours. This isn't my editor's note. We're supposed to get up to 72 hours of early access to the game. That early access period now appears to have caused Rocksteady extra grief, as the word also spreads that publisher Warner Brothers Games did not provide pre-release codes to media outlets. Publications like IGN ran stories over the weekend noting that the publisher has opted not to send out review codes until the game servers go live, or not at all in the case of IGN, which ran a negative-leaning preview of the game ahead of launch. So basically, IGN said it at the preview, and their preview wasn't even that bad. It was negative-leaning, but they're like, oh, but we're excited for the game to come out. It could be better than the preview was.
Right.
And Warner Brothers is just like, screw you, we're not sending a code. So, which is...
Say less.
IGN's like, all right, we'll just buy it and then still review it. And all right.
Yeah, what did you gain from this?
It's not like you can stop us from playing the game by, oh, no, you didn't send us a code. We'll just go buy it.
Oh, we'll have to play it a few days later. Oh, no.
And it's gotten infinitely worse press over the weekend now. They shot themselves in the foot by not sending the code. They think they're punishing IGN, but really they just made themselves look bad. Polygon also did not receive code ahead of Suicide Squad's launch. Oh, so Polygon also is part of that too. Interesting. Rocksteady's journey to bring Suicide Squad to life has been a challenging one, beset by delays, major story leaks, blowback over the game's live service, multiplayer focus, and the unwelcome revival of certain characters from the Batman Arkham games. Yeah. What a wild ride. I can't wait. This is similar to the Xbox acquiring Activision Blizzard stories, how I was so sick and tired of doing it, to the point where we actually did an episode where we said we will not talk about this anymore. I feel like
putting your foot down.
This will probably be the last one, only because the game comes out Friday, and after that I don't really care. But what a wild ride this has been.
Right.
I'm sick and tired of talking about this, so I'm glad to say, even if it's not the last news story, we're done with this. This is it. Just to let you know, we're not
built on the bones of a game nobody wanted.
Yeah. I don't. Man. A Lindsay in the chat mentions they didn't get one either, which
really,
that's wild. So it seems like, yeah. So I wonder how targeted it really is then. Are there any? But
you know what? Actually,
that got them?
That's worse. You know why? If IGN didn't get one and other places got one, it'd be like, oh, okay, they're really just doing it to kind of stick it to IGN.
Right.
But if nobody has a code,
IGN, Polygon, Screen Rant,
that's telling me something before the game even comes out. What are you trying to hide behind?
Yeah. So
why don't you want anybody to see this game ahead of time?
Yeah, that's almost worse. Because at first it was oh, they're just being petty towards IGN. But if the fact that no one's getting it, then it's oh, this game is in trouble maybe.
Right.
It's less of a petty thing and more of a, we have a lot to hide, which... Yikes. Yeah, Lindsay says, I don't know of anyone who got one. So, okay, that almost makes it worse. It almost as crappy as it is to be a weird petty thing against IGN and Polygon, a couple other places, it's childish, but whatever. But if no one got it, it's oh no, this might be a train wreck. Which, I mean, it already is. Like, that's what this whole news story is about.
Bingo.
Is basically, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing over there.
Can you imagine having a studio like Rocksteady and just wasting their talents on a project like this? You know how long people have been asking for what, you know, I always say it all the time. This was originally rumored to be a Superman game, and the executive said, no, we're going to turn it into Suicide Squad because Suicide Squad is hot right now, and we want you to turn this game into that. And Rocksteady's like, bro, we already modeled out Metropolis. What are you talking about? It's already done. We have the Justice League models ready to go. And the WB execs are just like, yeah, whatever. It's not going to be marketable. Superman is not going to be marketable?
People don't want a Superman game forever. You know?
Not even the fact that people wanted a Superman game. Superman, the character, is not. Do you know how many bad movies we just got and people kept going to see him?
People still love Superman.
People love Superman. He is not an American. He's an Earth icon.
JJ would have like peed his pants like if there's a Superman game.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Suicide Squad is a bad idea. I think it would have been cool for them to have their own little like side project, or maybe like a smaller AA game.
That should have been something that like because kind of like who made Batman Origins, like whoever made that, like that's like a Suicide Squad company.
Right.
They should have made that where it's like Warner Brothers Montreal, or who was it? Warner Brothers.
I couldn't tell you. There's only 2 games to me, so. There's only 2 games.
Hophead Ed had a couple comments here that are great. That name is almost as obnoxious as Dragon Quest 11S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch.
I don't know what he's talking about. Sounds fine to me.
Talking about, and then he also says Superman 64 remake when?
This would have been it. This would have been it right here.
Should have been it. Yeah, totally.
God.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over there. And apparently, I thought I saw in the news too recently that didn't like some people from old Rocksteady just start their own studio as well. Like they just
might as well. If WB's just gonna push you around and tell you what to do all the time, I'd have bounced out too.
Yeah, it's like if it's like you're making this game that you don't believe in, you know, which I mean maybe they do. I guess I haven't talked to developers. I shouldn't put my words in their mouth, but I don't know. Even if you did believe in it, with all this backlash, I'd be like, I'm out of here. Sorry, I'm gonna go work anywhere. Like,
I can't go through this.
This is one of those cases where forget layayoffs. I'm quitting. Like I'm out of here. I can't.
You don't gotta worry about me. I don't need the severance. I'm out.
Oh man, like,
I'm out.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear like what the people like. Obviously, there's got to be some part of them that does care about the project, or else they wouldn't be working on it. Like, and you know, anything you put your own blood, sweat, and blood, sweat, and tears into, like you
put your own tweezers
into your own tweezers into, you really care about. But yeah, I'd be curious because like, well, we heard stories about like Redfall last year. Where those devs weren't into it. They were like,
right. They legitimately did not want to make that game.
That we don't want to make this game. We make single player games with great stories. And when they were told not to, you know, nope, sorry, you got to make Redfall like this. They were just like, oh, all right. And the game came out crappy because of it. So
yeah, I think this is another one of those. I think it's a 1-to-1 copy.
Yeah, that's my only point of reference is like, well, that's what happened there, and a bad game came out, and then a bad game's coming out, so A plus B equals C. I'm guessing a lot of people there were not feeling this.
See, but here's the thing, right? Is people are predicting that this game is gonna land in maybe like a solid 7. But that's only because of the caliber of studio that Rocksteady is, that their bad games are just C's.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not gonna be like, yeah. I think at the very least, because I have seen a lot of people like, oh, the combat's fun. So even just like from a gameplay point of view, it's like, all right, it could still be a fun game. But
I'm absolutely going to watch the story 100% when it comes out, because, you know, people are going to put those cutscenes together. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Make a super cut to sit and watch all the cutscenes.
Yep.
Lindsay in the chat does say, heck, they could make a Superman Picross and it would sell 100%.
Absolutely.
Superman anything. Like, I don't know what they're
You can make
talking
Superman
about
anything, and there is an audience for it because it's Superman.
Yep.
What a
100%.
bonehead move, dude. Oh, WB execs. This is not about Rocksteady. I just want to make sure before it gets taken out of context, we have to do our disclaimers. This is about Warner Brothers Interactive and their upper staff.
Yeah.
It is not the dev team. I'm sure Rocksteady did what they could to try to salvage the situation, but it doesn't look like it panned out, unfortunately. So,
thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.